All right, what's the price of gas today? Well, in 1939, when my mother was born, it was 15 cents a gallon. FDR was the president, and World War II just started. They didn't gather around the television, they gathered around the radio and listened to
Only the Shadow Knows.
Only the Shadow Knows. And in 1939, when my mother was born, everyone, this is my mother, Melinda Retke. Welcome to Destiny this morning. Good to have you here. The average house cost $3,000. Yeah. You could drive a new car off the lot for $750. Brand new Chevy. $750. Times have changed. Social Security just was enacted. So lucky you got to start paying Social Security taxes.
Yes, yeah.
Married a salesman, a United States Marine Corps veteran. Went to ISU. Back in the day, it was ISNU.
Yes.
Normal
we
University.
were normal.
At the Normal University.
Yes.
You raised 4 children. My sister, who is older than me by 1 year, Kirsten. She comes here on the regular. Then I came along about a year later, and I always kind of had I'm really the oldest. When it's convenient, I'm the oldest. And then my younger brother, Hans, who lives up around Peoria, and my little brother, Bjarni, came along, and he died during COVID. And that was a difficult day to drive up to Bloomington to tell you that he had passed.
Had to be the hardest day of your life.
And a very difficult day. My parents divorced when my little brother was 10. I was right out of high school. She was a single parent for quite a number of years.
4 years.
Figuring all that out. Married a gentleman by the name of Al, who was also a veteran of the Korean War, built his own house, which she still lives in today. She drove down from Peoria today to be with us, lives independently, goes to water aerobics and swim class and the Y and silver sneakers and art classes and travels, has a very sharp mind. She's a lifelong learner, taught me to be inquisitive, taught me vocabulary at an early age. Words were important, that there were rules. My mom was a disciplinarian, not in that she would slap me, but when I heard the wooden spoons rattle on the kitchen stove, I knew I better take cover. She actually broke one on me once. I made a mistake once and told her it didn't hurt. And so I learned that lesson. But this is my mother. Put your hands together for my mother, Melinda Retke.
Thank you.
She drives down still every week to help homeschool the Schaefer kids on Tuesday. She loves to teach, teacher at heart, always teaching me. And the kids made a bunch of instruments a week or so ago, and they had a parade around the yard, and she's always teaching them different things about history. She loves history and geography. So welcome aboard, Mom.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you want to say? Anything? She said, remember last week I told you, I said, my mom's coming down, and I said, we're just going to have a conversation, Mom. She goes, well, what are you going to ask me, and let's practice. I said, no, Mom, we're not going to practice, but now you had first service, so you're all practiced up.
I'm all practiced now.
So, how's the world different today than it was back when you were a kid?
Oh, my goodness. Well, even when you were children, I never worried when they left the yard. And they roamed.
You told me to get out.
Yeah,
Go.
I did. Get out in the yard.
Don't
Go
come
play.
back till I call you. And come when I call you.
Yes.
The first time.
The first time, not the third. No. It's not 1, 2, 3. No. But
I think she poured me a bowl of milk once.
I did what?
I think you poured me a bowl of milk once. And when I came in, you said, your ice cream is melted. You better learn to come the first time I call you.
I don't remember.
I don't either. That's a joke, Grandma. That's a joke. But she's the one that taught me. I'm not going to say it twice.
No. No, you shouldn't have to say it twice. Raising kids, it takes discipline, but you got to throw in a lot of love with it. If you don't have the love with it, you're not going to do it. Your kids aren't going to make it. You got to love them and care for them. And part of loving is listening to them. That's a big part of raising children, and sometimes we don't take the time for it. And today it's hard.
We would talk a lot around the dinner table.
Oh, supper time was family time, and we shared. We talked about everything. Yeah, it was.
We weren't allowed to get up.
Oh no, not until you're excused. Yeah, you have to wait till you're excused. Yeah.
We would set the table.
When we set the table, I made sure the knife and fork were on the right side, the knife and the...
We had to learn, she taught me how to cook.
You had to set the table right. Yeah, I'd hate to see them grow up and go to prom and take a girl out to dinner, and they didn't know which fork to use, That's important. And I remember there was a neighbor girl that she didn't know how to cut her meat. Her parents had always cut it for her in high school. That's, children need to learn those.
Children these days.
Yes.
Raising 4 of us. Tell us about the challenge of multiple children. I only have one.
Oh, my.
Now you had Kirsten, the girl, and you had 3 boys.
Yes.
Which would be, in general, easier to raise, boys or girls, in your opinion?
Boys are easier for me because I can set rules and tell them this is what you can and you can't do, and I mean it. and they can argue, but I don't listen. This is it. That's when I don't listen. But a girl is like, it's okay, it's all right, because they're emotional, and guys are more black and white, and girls, I just don't handle emotions really well.
Now you got 5 how many grandkids?
I have 14 great-grandchildren.
14 great-grandchildren. Wow.
Hannah's helping that number a lot.
Yeah, she's working on it. Yep. So you would say boys simply because you could give them the law?
Yeah, I can tell them the rules and that's it. But girls...
You wouldn't change your mind when you told me this is what you're doing, that I couldn't negotiate out of it, generally speaking.
No. Because you got to teach them the rules.
There are consequences.
And there are consequences, yes.
Yeah.
Timeout works, but I was good at sending them to their room.
I would get no electricity. I wouldn't get my lights or my music or anything. So when I got, hey, go to your bedroom, it meant you don't get to entertain yourself in there. You're just going to sit there. And when it gets dark, it's dark. So good luck with that. That's what I remember. You were tough. You were tough.
Well, Hans one time, he did something I was not happy with.
What was it? Tell me.
Huh?
What'd he do?
Well.
Anyway.
Yeah. He went in. I told kids, you can't go in somebody's house unless the parents are there. It's a good rule. I don't know those parents, and I don't know, and I don't want my child in there. But he had gone in, and there was a girl in the house, and he's like 13. Well, I went over there and knocked on the door. Brought him home, put him in his room, and I was so upset. I took everything out of there that he could play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything he could play with, it was leaving. I'm taking it out. That's it. But he was grounded for a week.
Taught us to pick our stuff up. If you don't, pick your stuff up. Eric, I told you to pick your stuff up. If you don't pick your stuff up, what happens is it goes into a box. And when it goes into that box, you have to pay mom cash, money, to get your stuff out of the box.
Because I picked it up. Yeah, and I'm not a servant.
Pick your stuff up means pick your stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, Mom?
I love you. I love you.
I'm having some anxiety thinking, reliving some of those moments, right? She would send me outside. She'd go outside and play. I mean, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have video games. I remember Pong. I went for Paul Swanson across the street, got Pong.
Yeah.
And first video game ever. I'm like, this is amazing. But you were not big into allowing us that type of stuff.
No.
Go play.
Go play.
And so we play outdoors, and don't come in until I call you.
Yeah.
Why are you back in the house? Well, I'm thirsty. Well, there's a faucet on the side of the house. That's where you need to get a drink because I don't want you in my house because you were busy. You got 4 kids.
Yeah.
So I dug a lot of holes.
Yeah,
in the
you
yard.
did.
I like to dig holes.
1 6-foot deep. Filled with water.
Then I filled it with water, pushed my brother in it.
It was fun. Raising children was the best job I ever had. You know, it's a lot of ups and downs, but you got to enjoy them. You got to enjoy the children, be with them, talk to them. I don't mean buddy and friend because you know I was a disciplinarian and that's part of it. But if you don't listen to them and love them and be open. If there's anything you want to know, come and ask me. I'll find the answer. If you don't know,
get on your bike and ride to the library and look it up.
Yeah. Oh, I believed in the library. We didn't have the internet. And if you're curious about something, go get a book. Get a book. And I remember I told Eric, you can learn anything in a book. So when he wanted to learn to water ski, he got a book out of the library about learning to water ski. And there really was a book about it.
Then your dad, my grandpa, went and bought a boat so I could water ski.
Yeah, he did. He had a boat and took you water skiing. Yeah.
And pulling this chunky kid up behind a 40-horse, Ryan, was a challenge. But we got her done. Learned how to do that.
Yeah.
We were always very positive towards whatever we put our mind to do. Support it, whether it's sports or music or what have you.
I encouraged all my children. It's so important to encourage them and tell them, you're doing a good job. But I never worried if they failed. Failure is part of life. It's going to happen to you somewhere, sometime. But
failure is an investment on your future winning. She taught me that don't ever fear failure because you'll always learn something in the event of failure. And so I was always trying everything.
Yeah, you did. And we encouraged all of the children to be themselves. It's really important to be an individual, to not be a crowd follower. And you want that to happen before they get up to junior high because that's when the temptations come.
What's the hardest years raising kids?
High school and junior high.
Yeah.
Because by then...
So I got an amen from a junior high mom or something that sounds like out there. Preach it.
Well...
Junior high?
Junior high. Because their lives change in junior high. Grade school, they're close to mom and dad. Mom's the PTO president or PTA president, and you're
You were up in my business all the time.
I was up in their business all the time, yeah.
But by the time you get to junior high school, they're a little more removed.
They're removed from you, and they start going class to class. Their bodies are starting to change in junior high school. Everything is changing, and now girls wear makeup much younger. I had to give in at junior high. My daughter started wearing makeup a little, but their lives just really change at that age, and so you want to really be participating in their life, and hopefully you have given them enough knowledge in the 10 years or 13 years that you've had them at home that you're able to do that, because by the time high school comes, they've chosen their friends, and that's really important, that they've chosen the right friends in high school.
Well, train a child in the way they should go.
That's exactly it.
There's a scripture in Psalm 78, verse 4, the only one I've written down this morning. It says, they will not hide them from their children. They will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, his power, his wondrous things he's done. Psalm 78, 4. And I believe you did that for us. My mom and dad were always in church. My dad was the choir director and on the board. And Mom did the newsletter and taught Sunday school and vacation Bible school. We were at church every time the doors were open.
Yeah.
We were raised Lutheran because your dad was Lutheran. And then dad's parents were Lutheran. It was just a thing.
Yeah,
we were Lutheran to the core.
Yeah.
I love the Lord. Liked helping you at the church during weekdays during the summer. I remember the old mimeograph machine. You may not be old enough to remember. Before the photocopier, there was this big round thing they inked up with some wonderfully smelling chemical, which I love to inhale in copious amounts. And that was those were the days. Our Savior Lutheran Church in Pekin. I was born in Bloomington. We were born in the same hospital. And lived at 904 East Street, just a few blocks from the Miller Park Zoo, if you're familiar with Bloomington at all. And back before there was television, she would lay in bed at night and be able to hear the lions roar at the zoo in the middle of the night. So that was kind of cool. But your dad took you to church. What would you tell parents today the importance of keeping your children in church?
It is important because I don't know how you get through life without faith in Jesus Christ. It's the only way, because through the ups and downs of raising children, and I've said a lot of prayers, I think God raised my children. I didn't raise them, he did. And it's just the most important part, that your children know that you love God, and going to church is an important part of it. But you got to take it home with you too, guys. You can't just leave it at church on Sunday.
Come on, preach it, Mom. Preach it.
I'm preaching. He comes by it naturally. Yeah, so.
If I was your child today, in this day and age, when would you give me a cell phone?
When you graduate high school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crazy about social media. There's too much harmful stuff, and it's got to be hard for parents today to fight the influence that comes from there. You know, it's influencing our children, and we need to be careful about that, because I read where girls are told they're not pretty, or they're not the right color, they're not the right this or that. That's terrible. That's, you know.
Well, back in the day, we had magazines. Remember magazine covers? That was kind of the default comparison, you know, and they were all airbrushed, beautiful people on the covers of magazines. That's that in television. But today it's in their hand all the time.
It's in their hands, and you need to control it. You know, when you come home from, say, if you allow it to go to school, but now schools are putting them in pockets, which I'm really in favor of. But when they come home, you know, there's got to be a time limit, or there's got to be a place. Can't take it to a bedroom. I mean, I could come up with a bunch of rules. Yeah.
Talk about the influence that your parents had on you growing up.
Oh, my goodness.
What year was your dad born? My grandfather, Grandpa Recky. When was he born?
Say that again.
Your father. What year was he born?
Oh,
How old was he when he had you? You know?
I can't remember.
Well, let's say he was 25 and you were born in 39, right? So
yeah, he was out of high school when I was born.
Okay.
My parents met in high school.
End of World War I.
World War II.
You were World War II.
Yeah, he was World War I. I think it was around 1912 or so that my dad was born.
What did he instill in you where your faith is concerned?
Where my faith is concerned, they sent my parents. You got to remember back then for my dad, it was the German family, and the German was dominant. And Germans aren't the most emotional people in the world. So, but he felt the faith because he put me in parochial school, Lutheran school. I learned the catechism. I was confirmed as a Lutheran, so I learned a lot of Bible. I had to memorize a Bible verse every day going to school. So I think that was a huge influence that they put on my life. And we prayed, we had grace. We said things like that. And when I came home with a question about faith that I had at a church, my dad was quick to answer. He always would tell me what he was thinking about faith. So it was a conversation. It wasn't something like you'd say, what did Jesus do in this instance or something? But I felt the Lord in my family because my parents showed love to me and they showed love to each other. Yeah.
So you have a sister.
Yes.
A younger sister. One younger sister.
That's it.
She travels with you. You travel with her, or however that works out. But they get in the car and drive to Door County, or
we're going to go up to Wisconsin.
Again.
Yeah, in August this year.
Well, talking about your faith, I remember as a child that we would always gather together as a family at bedtime.
Right.
Like in the living room or the family room or whatever. Say the Lord's Prayer together.
I thought it was important you learn the Lord's Prayer. And like I said, I think I even taught the Apostles' Creed, which is important to me because it tells you say, I am.
Yeah. No. So today, how do we translate that? Does that still work today? Is that still feasible today in today's?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Well,
I mean,
I'm asking the question.
Yeah. Well, you take time. You take the time. Your greatest values, your greatest gifts that God has given you is time and relationships. How you use your time, what you do with it, and the relationships that you make are the most important things there are.
When you're 87 years old, is that even a more powerful statement? Because the older I get, I'm only 63, the more I realize you can buy that, you can go there, you can do this, but time, you'll never have this morning over again.
That's right.
You'll never have that opportunity to hug them again or be with them again.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. At my age, you start thinking about death and you think about what it'll be like or where it'll happen or what. But it's not something I'm afraid of because I believe in Jesus and I really believe I'll go to heaven. But it's, it's part of my life and it's okay.
So the importance of time and relationships, anything else on that list, or those are the top two?
Well, those are the most important things that God has given us.
How do you instill that into a younger generation that is...
Wow.
How do you get that across?
Wow. I'm not sure I know how.
What advice would you give young parents?
Oh, take time. You've got to take time for the kids because everybody's trying to influence them, and you're there, and you have to be the greatest influence on those children because think of all, it's like we said, it's the social media.
Some of those people even call themselves influencers.
Yes, they do. They're trying to influence you to buy this, to do this. I love to listen to I don't like them, the ads on TV, because you know, you have a right to take this cream because it's going to make you beautiful. Come on. You know, they're not going to take away my wrinkles. I don't care how much they put in the jar. It won't work, you know. Yeah, but families need to spend time together. I don't know how else to put it, because that's when your children will start talking to you. That's what you want, because you need to listen to them. Take time to listen to them. Ask them a question. You know, even if it doesn't have to be anything special, just start a conversation.
I thought every conversation you had with me had a point. That you were training me to grow up.
That's it. That's what parents, that's your job.
You weren't my friend.
No.
But I loved you.
Oh.
And I felt loved, but I never felt like you were trying to be my friend.
No, I didn't try to be your friend. My goal, every parent's goal is to raise a child so that they can go out on their own. That's your job as a parent, that you have to just raise that child so they can go out, and they'll have failures and they'll have achievements that you can encourage them to keep trying. That's so important. Just try. It's not whether you fail or not. It's whether you try. That's it. Yeah.
I was thinking of that, spending time, and I've learned this being a grandparent now, and this is the advice that I got from Pastor Steve Nordyke before I became a grandparent. Because Eric, when you're having kids, you have children, you're grinding out your life, you're trying to succeed in life, and you have these priorities, but when you become a grandparent, you realize time and relationship gets elevated, and you go, wait a second, maybe I don't need to cut the grass right now. Maybe I should teach my granddaughter how to cut the grass, where I would have never taught my daughter how to do that. But now it's like, oh yeah, we can do that later. Let's interface. Let's have some conversation. Let's talk. Let's go play. Let's go fishing.
Yeah.
Let's go do something fun and have relationship. So, yeah, I'm learning that the older I get.
Yeah, enjoy your grandchildren.
I mentioned that you were a single parent for a number of years, and I'm sure we have some single parents here, those watching online or later. How did you manage? You got your 4 kids. I'm living in Pekin at the time. You got 3 with you in Bloomington.
Yes.
My sister, my 2 younger brothers.
Yes.
Now you're going to work a full-time job.
Yeah, and your sister's in college.
She's in college, so you got the 2 boys.
Then I have a high schooler and a grade schooler.
Didn't Bob Pershaw watch the boys once?
Yes.
Wasn't that the kid? Isn't that? I think so. My mom came here, and I think my brother goes, "I know you," and my mom says, "Yeah, in Bloomington." Bob Pershaw watched my 2 little brothers up in Bloomington once. It's crazy. Isn't that weird? Anyway, so single parenting, taking care of 2 boys. Now you were a stay-at-home mom. Now you're a manager at a Gailey Eye Clinic.
And it was a different world. I didn't change my values. My values, we still talked about Jesus. We still talked. I was open to their conversations, but I would call home. I was working, and I would call, and I'd say, guys, get the lawn chairs ready and the fishing poles. We're going to go on a picnic when I get home from work. And we would make up a picnic lunch, and we'd go out to Lake Bloomington and go fishing. Because I wanted those boys to have opportunities to do things that boys should be doing. And so I would make time to do things with them. I used a lot of coupons out of the paper, buy a hot dog, get another one free. And then on top of that, I taught the boys to cook so that when I would come home from work, they would have a pot of goulash ready or something like that. And I taught all of you to cook.
Taught me to cook.
Everyone was welcome in the kitchen and learned to cook. Yeah. So, and we went to church every Sunday. We did the things, like I said, my values stayed the same. My children handled the divorce. I think all 4 of them went to counseling because it was important when the family is separated like that it's hard on the kids. It's very hard on the children. Mm-hmm. And so they've all had counseling. Me too. I went to counseling, a Christian counselor. Yeah. So we handled being a single mom. And my father was a big influence.
Yeah, your dad, I would say, stepped up.
Yeah, he stepped up and really fathered my youngest son. He let him caddy on the golf course. He'd pay him to come over and help dig out bushels or cut bushes or cut the grass or do something. Yeah. So men are a huge influence on boys' lives.
So then you remarried. You married Al, as I said, a Korean War veteran. Now you've got Bjarni.
He was 13.
13 at the time. So how did that assimilation happen? I don't know if I've ever really. Was that difficult for Bjarni?
It was very difficult for Bjarni. Yeah, my youngest son. Really difficult for him. But I sent him to Lutheran school for 8th grade and then Catholic high school.
I said, "Mom, you're sending my brother to a Catholic school." She goes, "He's a Pentecostal. He ain't gonna be. He won't turn Catholic, Eric. Don't worry."
No, he was so Pentecostal you couldn't have changed him. He knew his beliefs and that was it. Yeah, so I wasn't afraid of that.
Kind of skipping from mother to grandmother to great-grandmother, those kind of 3 seasons. What are some big differences between those seasons in your mind?
Well, the first season was a lot of responsibility. Raising children is a huge responsibility. And it's still fun. It's still fun. Like you said, you're trying to put food on the table. You're trying to clothe your children. I mean, when school started, everybody got a pair of jeans. The boys did. But then at Christmas, part of your Christmas was a pair of jeans because we couldn't afford 2 pairs when school started.
Mom was a stay-at-home mom. Dad was a salesman. We were 4 kids, and so you got underwear for Christmas.
Yeah. But then, what? Then from that
to grandma.
Yeah, to grandma. And grandma was good. Grandma was good. I would drive to see the kids. Al and I helped.
You were always very involved.
Al was involved because my second husband, he and I moved every one of them. Remember when they're getting started and they're moving from one house to the other constantly when kids first get married? We were the movers. We had a pickup truck, so we helped them move from one place to the other. So we've been to Indiana and up to Chicago moving people.
Now, great-grandmaing, is that better than grandmaing?
That was...
Is great-grandmaing better than grandmaing?
you're not as involved as you are when you're a grandma. You're getting older. When I was a grandma, I could roller skate with the kids, you know. But you get to be great grandma. I'm not getting on roller skates. So yeah. So your physical part limits you to what you can do. But I go to the Schaefer household on Tuesdays and read to the girls, and it just fills my heart. I love reading to them, partially because I want them to love books. I want them to love learning. Love learning is so important as you grow up. You never stop learning. You know, when kids complain in high school or someplace, I don't want to learn that. Hey, your whole life you're learning something. If it's how to cook something, how to fix something, life never stops learning. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy school, high school.
No.
I thought high school was stupid. Didn't apply myself. And you were all the while instilling the idea that you need to be a learner. But whenever I decided I wanted to learn something, you would always encourage
when you
me.
wanted to, you did it.
Mm-hmm. My mother used every opportunity as a teaching opportunity. No matter what we were doing, if we're just driving down the road, she says, "Look at that! Look, those are oak trees over there." I was like, "Okay, Mom." Or that river is the Sangamon River, and this is the Illinois River, and the Illinois River goes in the Mississippi River. Mississippi River goes down in Louisiana, it goes out in the Gulf of Mexico. And she's like a rambling encyclopedia of stupid information. But now I do it. Then Kirsten, my older sister, she became friends with Cheryl before we got married, and they're driving, I don't know, to Missouri or something.
No, Louisiana.
And, well, you tell the story.
They were driving down the road, and Kirsten saying, "Oh, look, there's a silo over there, and they're raising soybeans over there, and there's corn. Oh, look, there's an eagle, my daughter." And Cheryl looks at Kirsten and says, "When we travel, we sleep."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything was an opportunity for. I see that as a good parenting tool. That.
Yeah.
I was schooled, and I didn't know I was being schooled.
Every opportunity is a place to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'd be walking, and she'd pick up a rock. She'd go, "This is a sedimentary rock. You know how sedimentary rocks are formed? This is why your layers are saying this is a igneous rock. And look at those. Those are cumulus clouds, Eric. You know what a cumulus cloud is? And those are stratus clouds over there." It's like, Mom. But now all that stuff has stuck with me, and I've done that to Hannah her whole life.
Sure.
It was a great teaching. So thank you for teaching me.
And you want to teach your kids also not to be followers.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to teach them how to be independent. It doesn't come naturally, but you encourage it.
And not again emphasizing the idea that failure isn't a bad thing. It's just a tool. It's an installment on your impending victory.
It is.
Yeah.
And God's going to be with you every minute.
Even when I sneak out of the bedroom window at night.
I don't think He approved of that.
Okay. She learned later in life that my bedroom window was my second door, because my bedroom was on what they call garden level, right? So you look out into the bushes, and so I was able to.
I did not know.
I know. I'm glad.
Yeah, well.
So, thank you for that. Any other parental advice? Other things you want to?
No. Well, I said the first level was responsibility,
Yes.
and the second level was being involved with your grandchildren.
Right.
But the responsibility part is sort of lessened, you don't feel it as much, right, guys? Because you don't have to provide the food on the table and the roof over the head.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to my age, and I live alone, and I said to my doctor the other day, I said, it's tough. I said, I've lost family and I've lost friends. I lost a best friend about this last year. And you go, wow, this is harder, but you don't give up. At this age, you look for other things to do. Like my sister and I, when we travel, we're going up to Door County. We go to art galleries. We go to plays. And last year we went on a sailboat ride, which was awesome because there were only 4 passengers. So we did this through the water, and you're hanging on. Yeah. So I enjoyed that. Yeah. And then when Al was alive, we drove to Yellowstone a couple of years, and we went to Canada.
You were always an adventurer, lifelong learner.
Oh, I love
scrapper.
it. I love it. I love learning.
Yeah.
I love going and learning about something in history but yeah, so you don't give up at 87. You keep trying.
All right. So talk a little bit about legacy. Talk about what it is that when you reach this age, I don't mean saying your age is, but I mean 87 is 87, what I'm saying?
It's a good life.
You got a daughter enrolling in Social Security.
Yes, she's on Medicare. Wow. When you get so old that your children are on Medicare, let me tell you, that's like, wow.
Was that an eye-opener?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not me. That's my older sister.
Oh, that's not you.
Right.
No.
Right. So talk about when you're at this age, and friends are passing, your body's slowing down, so on and so forth. You think about, what will I be remembered for? What will my legacy in life beyond me be?
Well, first of all, I hope my children and my grandchildren and all of them, great-grandchildren, all know I love Jesus. I hope that's evident. I hope I portray Jesus in the things that I do, that I'm loving and caring, as he says, I want them to love learning. I think it's really important, and I hope they have that from me, that they've loved, that they have that quality. I want them to live with hope. God says that, hope is part of faith, and I want them to know that there's always hope. There's always a good word. God encourages us, and we should encourage each other. Yeah.
Well, I think hearing that from someone that's lived since 1939, when gas was 15 cents a gallon, to someone that's 63, to somebody that's 33, just starting their family or wherever that on the continuum, those principles are timeless.
They are.
Faith in Jesus.
Oh,
spending time with them, letting them know they're loved.
yes,
So,
the most important part.
Well, any advice in closing to fathers on Father's Day?
Your fathers are so important. Boys need you. They need you to guide them how to grow up to be a boy, to be a man, because the example you set in your family, it's so important. You're the protector. You're the one that takes care of them. You are responsible for making girls feel beautiful. That needs to come from Dad, not just Mom. It needs to come from Dad. And you need to raise those boys to be boys, and to have manners, and to how to treat a woman. Treat her with care. Treat her with kindness. Encourage her when you get married, you should be making each other more and better. I want to marry someone that is going to lift you up. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, she's never short on an opinion. So you can ask all your individual personal questions afterwards. She had a line after first service this morning, and you're such a delight, Mom. I love you more than words. I think you're amazing. I'm so grateful for you, the things you instilled in me, and I just love you. I'm so thankful for you.
I love you. I love you with all my heart.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I have 4 children that follow Jesus. All 4 of them.
We couldn't be any more different.
That is just...
We couldn't be any more different than we are. The 4 of us are so different.
All 4 follow Jesus.
But we're all different.
Oh.
That we're just...
Oh, yeah. I encouraged you to be different, to be yourselves, not to try to be somebody else. And they're 4 different personalities completely. But it's a good thing. I love them all. And I would start mothering again. But,
well, you still try to occasionally.
Yeah.
I said, listen, Mom,
to me.
Thanks for your advice, but I got it covered. Which, when I was leaving home and, becoming a man in those early years, you would still try to mother me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And you still try to now. But I do remember a time where I said, listen, Mom, thanks for your advice. I appreciate that. And you received that well. I don't know if that hurt you or not. But I was like, listen, Mom, appreciate the advice, but I'm going to make these decisions.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're telling me I'm grown up now.
Yeah.
And you've done your job, now let go.
And I'm sure you had a lot of times where you wanted to give me advice that you didn't.
Oh, I bit my tongue.
Well, I appreciate that. But it's been a good run. Appreciate it. Love you. You're a great mom, a wonderful grandmother, and a super great great grandmother.
I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all God's done for me.
Yeah.
I am so blessed. So blessed. I can't describe how full of gratitude I feel for all that I have in my life. And I think that every day I want to find something to be grateful for, and I can.
You've always been a very thankful person.
Oh.
And instilled that in me, to be a very thankful person.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful.
Good. Well, I'm thankful that you were here today. Would you close us out in prayer? Pray for the families and moms and dads?
Sure.
Okay.
Heavenly Father, you are the greatest Father in the world. You are the one who gives us the example. Your example that Jesus left is all we need in this life. That we cast our cares upon you, Lord, because you have the answers. We let go of it when we worry. We give it to you, Lord. As these families try to grow, let them find time and relationship for each other. Give them direction in their lives, Lord. Give them discernment so they know exactly what to do with their children and how to handle different situations. Bless the fathers and the mothers that are here, and those that are single, those that are past the child age, that they still can give love to young people, Lord. I ask that you bless everyone here, that you give them joy in their hearts, that they feel your presence in their lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Why don't you put your hands together for my awesome mom today?